I wondered why.
Oh,
Ho, ho, ho. And welcome to episode 33 Explorers. As always, I am joined by the beautiful Taylor from Canada
hello.
and the handsome Jimmy from America.
Howdy.
So,
And we have Santa Jack.
Santa Jack, I'll be knocking about next week sometime for you good boys and girls. The rest of you are naughty until next year.
Oh.
So we'll start with you, Taylor. How's your week been?
My week's been really good. It's been really busy. I just finished wrapping up a Christmas event at the zoo. And it was like a Christmas train, and we had s'mores, and I was like building campfires, and it was lights, and it was super fun. And now I'm just like super exhausted. So if I sound like I'm zoning out, it's because I'm like half asleep still. But yeah, it's been a good week. Good, busy week.
Awesome.
How about
Happy
you,
days.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
How about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's been a week. Like I said last week, last week of finals, last week of school, it is chaos. People, the swimming and everything like that is great. It's a lot going on. Like I said, winding down with school, but everything else seems like it's winding up. And we're packing up. And, we record on Sundays, so we are leaving tonight at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. And we are going to drive 20 hours across America, all the way back to Pennsylvania for a few days, see my family, then go to New York, and come back, hang out with my family for Christmas, and then drive 20 hours back to Kansas so I can be back in time for practice. So ask me how my week was after that.
Nice. 20 hours. You could probably get up the top of the bottom of UK 3 or 4 times in 20 hours driving.
Yeah, right.
That's unreal. That is nice.
Jack, how was your week? You got to be busy, man. Dressed like that, you must have been.
Yeah,
the elves
the presents
hard at
are
work.
ready. Just stocking up on the reindeer food now to keep them going throughout the night. But no, apart from that, we've been on the wind down week now, so I'm on 3 weeks leave, chilling out. I've had all the briefs and that end of year briefs ready to go for next year.
Nice.
Lots of drinking and eating, and continuing training and getting ready for more NFL action or American football action over here. I think that's going to
Well, hey, the NFL's over, man. It ended last night.
But if you're a Steelers fan, that was some painful watching, I'm sure.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Just listening to you guys talk about it, I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm like not part of it.
join me and Jimmy for a spin-off podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look then at our force encounters for the week. Cool, right, I'll start us off just quickly then. So just for myself, my daughter started reading some more Star Wars books. Last night we started The Mandalorian Season 1, which she read very well. I might have to get some audio clips for the listeners because we have sound effects and everything. So it's pretty entertaining stuff.
Wonderful.
That's probably it. What about you, Taylor? What you got?
I got home from work last night to my husband had bought me a little Ahsoka Christmas ornament for the tree. So,
Nice.
I mean, it was Ahsoka, the like dark gray, which, I mean, my favorite is the white, the new white, but they probably don't even have that ornament yet. But yeah, and then my daughter got a Nubs from the Young Jedi Adventures show, the little blue
very
Nubs.
Cute. Yeah.
And they're actually like pretty good. So we hung those up on the tree this morning. And my daughter was like asking for all of the Young Jedi Adventures little toys, and it's like the little kids like Kai Bright Star, and they come with a little Jedi Vector and everything. It's like, and like speeders. It's so cool. So I'm like, maybe I want that for Christmas.
Nice.
So my force encounter. Yeah.
What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah. So I must have been a mean teacher this year because I usually get a lot of stuff from kids. I did get some cool Star Wars lightsaber pens from one of my swimmers/students, so that was fun. I started Rise of the Red Blade, which has been amazing so far. Nothing's actually happened, but just reading stuff through about someone else's viewpoint from like the beginning of the Clone Wars and stuff has been really, really fun. And it's given me some ideas for future shows. But
Nice.
and
I loved that book when it first came out. Like just the way Delilah writes this character is like it makes you
Yeah.
really like this person, and she turns out like to be like a psycho, but you want to be on her side. So
Yeah.
you'll see.
And yeah, I really liked it. And then I got invited to go on with Seriously Star Wars at the end of this month to do a Funko recap from 2023, which was pretty exciting
Oh
because
my
I
goodness.
didn't even realize that one of the Ahsokas had released at Target, and I ran over there this morning and picked it up real quick. There's only like 3 left at my Target, so I went. So big shout out to Chris for Star Wars, Seriously Star Wars. I'm excited for that. So yeah, it was a pretty good Star Wars week for me.
Good.
Nice.
And speaking of shout outs, we'd like to welcome some new explorers or explorer to the Gaze Eccentric, and that is Tisha Bahima. Apologies if I butchered your name, but that's the person that keeps our Taylor blue. So welcome aboard.
Welcome
Awesome.
aboard.
Let's head over to Batu then and see what news we've got coming out of there.
All right, so rumors are going around that Mandalorian Season 4 is gearing up to start filming sometime in February. I still seeing things from both sides of nothing's been confirmed. You know, we reported last week that it's a movie now, and then we've heard from people like Star Wars Mag and some other folks that it's still going to be a series. So it would be nice for Disney to... Yeah, it would be nice for Disney to come out and be like, no, it's a series. But, yeah, so I'm excited for that either way. I hope they find their way. I feel like they got a little bit lost in Season 3.
Yeah.
And it may or may not have made my top 5. So,
yeah, nice. We've seen some more sources, 2 or 3 sources saying that it's going to be February or at least late January for the filming to start. But yeah, who knows what's going on. In other news, in an interview with IGN, Kathleen Kennedy's hinted at how the critical text will be in Rey's Jedi Order, and has also highlighted the questions the movie we will address. She also said that they're 15 years out from the Rise of Skywalker, so the post-war or post-First Order, and the Jedi are in disarray, so no change there. When have they ever been organised? And there's a lot of discussion around who are the Jedi, what are they doing, and what's the state of the galaxy. She's also attempting to rebuild the Jedi Order based on the books, based on what she's promised Luke, and I think that's the direction that they're going. She's also quoted saying, Kathleen Kennedy said, I don't know if we'll spend a lot of time in flashbacks, hopefully not, or Force Ghosts, hopefully not, or things like that, but certainly the spirit of what Luke represents to her is going to be significant. So again, questions are being asked, what's going on, who's going to be in it. We know that Daisy Ridley is going to be in it for sure.
Yeah.
Is Mark Hamill going to make an appearance? Is he done with Star Wars? That'd probably be my next big question. What do we think?
No, he's not. He's totally going to... Okay, he's not done with Star Wars because Mark Hamill loves being that advocate for Star Wars. He loves being Luke Skywalker. I don't think he's ever going to be sick of it. So, I don't know. I think we are going to get a Force Ghost Luke. Because we already did, and like Rey's going to be training everybody, so she's gonna be super powerful. Like 15 years down the road, she's kind of figured things out, I hope. So I feel like Luke's gonna be there, kind of like giving her like assistance, like Ahsoka is giving Luke assistance in the Book of Boba Fett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see it.
What do you think, Jimmy?
I feel like I'm pretty hopeful, but I would assume that we'd get a Luke, unless they have something planned out and they're going to bring him in later. I would assume that we're going to get a Yoda, maybe a different Jedi Master. That it's hard because Yoda's the one who started this. Qui-Gon starts it, and then they get better at it. But you can't really bring back Obi-Wan because Alec Guinness is gone. I don't think that would be respectful of him. But yeah, I think we get some Force Ghost, just quick, maybe an Anakin, maybe even an Ahsoka, who knows, if she's gone, or maybe live action Ahsoka if she's not, she's still around. It kind of bums me out though, because 15 years later, Broom Boy they can get anyone they want to be Broom Boy. I was kind of hoping for obviously he will have aged out by this point, though, because what, it's been 6 years since The Last Jedi, right? Is that what I've been seeing online?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's already 6 years older, so he probably looks like a small man. But I do hope they make some changes. I hope they don't follow those texts, and the Jedi Order needs to change. And I think it would help Star Wars if things would change a little bit. Because I tell you, like just reading Rise of the Red Blade, I'm annoyed with the Jedi Order,
Yeah.
the High Republic. I'm annoyed with the Jedi Order. Prequels, I'm annoyed with the Jedi Order. So something has to change because they seem to be their own worst enemy, which is probably something we're going to talk about in 2024.
Who knows? Spoiler alert.
Next up, we have Entertainment Weekly has named the 5th episode of Disney Plus's Ahsoka series, Shadow Warrior, as the second best TV episode of 2023, only beaten just by The After Party, Season 2, Episode 3, Travis. I've never watched The After Party, so I apologize. I do not know what it is, but I assure you Ahsoka was better. But I remember us not actually ranking this episode 5, very high. So, I don't know.
Nostalgia
I guess
train.
Yeah.
Choo.
Yeah, fans from all areas possibly tuning in there.
Yeah.
Give us more reason to do a live action Clone Wars movie or even series. I'd be very happy with that.
Yes,
that would
the
be
numbers
awesome.
tell. Yeah. Well, you know what? That actually takes us nicely into our main topic of today, which is 2023, a year in review. Ooh.
Cool, as always then, we've had lots of feedback and comments from you, the explorers. And like Taylor said there, we're going to talk about our top 5 Star Wars moments, things, purchases, whatever they may be, of 2023. How it's going to work then? Okay, I'm going to start off with my number 5. Once I've done Taylor's and then Jimmy, okay, we're then going to start chucking in the explorers comments. So again, carry on listening and listen out for your comment if you put one in. And as always, is anything you feel you want to add to it or whatever, again, just hit us up on the socials at Explore the Force. So starting us off then, my first top 5 for me is going to be Bad Batch season 2. Absolutely love Bad Batch. I thought it was a fantastic series from start to finish. Loved again the character development all the way through, and the absolute, I was going to say cliffhanger there, quite appropriate. Cliffhanger of an episode. Okay, wanting more for season 3. Again, seeing the guests in that at Star Wars Celebration just blows my mind. The preview that we had, I cannot wait for the final season of Bad Batch. What about you, Taylor? What's your number 5?
My number 5 was getting up at 4 a.m. and watching Celebration live with Matilda Backlund. So we were FaceTiming each other on our phones. And then I also had like Celebration live on TV. And then I had my laptop going with like other stuff. And I think I had a couple of live streaming from a couple of friends who will remain nameless. So I got to see Daisy Ridley walk out on stage like live, and everyone's like, "Wow!" It's like blurry. It was so great. And I just remember being exhausted and just wrapped in blankets, and it was so fun. And like I think I saw Sean Hudson like walking like in the background of one of the live things. Like I don't know, it was really fun. But I mean, I'd love to be there next year. You know.
Well,
Yeah. My
all
number
right.
5.
That's a good one, Taylor. I can tell you from experience it was good. So can Jack, obviously.
Yeah.
Jack, Bad Batch Season 2 just missed out on my top 5. I'd probably put it 6th with some of the stuff here. But yeah, I can't wait for that. For me, though, number 5 is going to be the Lego sets that were released and some of the Funkos I collected. So I'm going to kind of go the toy route. Collectible route, sorry, not toys. But I think like the T6, and we had all these different like Shin Hachis and the E-Wing. Just a bunch of different builds that we got this year. It was a lot of fun and a lot of different Funkos that came out from Ahsoka. A lot of stuff streaming in from Ahsoka and different things like that. But yeah, I thought there were some really good builds. I was excited to get a new Ghost out of this. Get them both built. I'm hoping to do that over Christmas.
Yeah.
And do one of our videos. But that's going to be a process because it's a big one. But yeah, so number 5 for me is going to be like the Lego sets we got. The Funko. I didn't get the Venator, but one of my swimmers got it, and he showed it to me, and it is a gorgeous piece of Lego. So yeah, so the toys, the collectibles, I just kind of lumped them all in there together. But I thought that Disney did Lucasfilm, Disney, whoever did a really good job of representing some of the stuff that came out. So that's my number 5.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we have some people. Our friend Chris from Seriously Star Wars.
Hey everyone, it's Christopher from the Seriously Star Wars YouTube channel, and 2023 was a big year for Star Wars, so there were quite a few Star Wars moments that stood out for me, but a lot of stuff happened. So we had quite a few Star Wars shows. So we had Mando Season 3, we had The Bad Batch Season 2, Vision Season 2, and then we had, of course, my favorite, the Ahsoka series that came out just a couple months ago. And then, of course, collectible-wise, a ton of Funko Pops that I picked up this year. A bunch of Black Series figures got released, of course. TVC figures, Lego, books, comics, all sorts of stuff. We got Jedi Survivor this past year, but I think my top 3 Star Wars moments of 2023, starting with number 3, is Ahmed Best returning as Kelleran Beck in Mando Season 3, and that was the first big moment for Star Wars, I think, for me, because Ahmed Best deserves all the respect for playing Jar Jar, and then he played Kelleran Beck in Jedi Temple Challenge, which was like a kid television show, game show that I watched. I enjoyed it, so I enjoy Ahmed Best playing Kelleran Beck. I'm glad he got his return to Star Wars. Number 2 would be Hayden Christensen reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker in the Ahsoka series. So that happened just a couple months ago. Not only did we get Anakin in the quote-unquote flashbacks where he took Ahsoka back into the past. I think that's some sort of time travel in the World Between Worlds there. But we got him in those scenes. We got him as a training hologram, and then we got him at the end of the series as Force Ghost Anakin. So that just blew a lot of fans' minds, including myself. I don't think we were all prepared for that much Anakin in the Ahsoka series. So that was my number 2. And then my number 1 was actually the big reveal of the Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Target exclusive Grand Admiral Thrawn Funko Pop. I don't have the original Grand Admiral Thrawn Funko Pop from 2017 Celebration. So being able to get my hands on this, which I got to thank my buddy Patrick over at Poptography. He sent one over for me. So I'll be opening that up later. But I'm really happy to have that one in my collection. I'll have a Grand Admiral Thrawn in my collection, which is awesome. So those are my top 3 Star Wars moments of 2023.
But yeah, that was Seriously Star Wars. Chris from Seriously Star Wars. Our friend Luke Summerfield said Celebration, which was awesome. I was still mad at him for just disappearing on me. I came back from somewhere and he was gone, back to Wales. So I never got to say goodbye to him. So, damn you, Luke.
Luke.
But and then Daryl Armstrong said Bad Batch Season 2 and the Mandalorian Season 3 made his top list for 2023. So all of those really, really awesome. But I don't know why I had forgotten about the Ahmed Best, because we just talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did.
That was a really, really cool moment.
Yeah.
In Star Wars, like just getting that love. So
yeah, and
Yeah,
it wasn't even just like the character, it was the actor, and like he just like deserved it after all these years. And it's so funny how we, like, I don't want to say like we, but everyone kind of all harped on him then. It's like, oh, it's cool to hate on him, blah blah blah. But now everyone just loves him, and it's just awesome. I'm just happy about it.
It was a good year for returning characters and also new characters. Seeing them all in live action, Rosario Dawson, Thrawn as well, Mads Mikkelsen. Seeing these people finally. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. Next then, we're going to get our top 4. So, again, I'll just quickly start us off. Again, for me, it's going to be all the High Republic stuff. So all the new books, the comics, High Republic-wise. Just going to put myself on the spot real quick. If I have to pick a favourite book, comic, or whatever it is that I've read, High Republic wise, then it'd probably be the encyclopedia, because I've been after something like that for years. So I can
It's so
finally put
great.
exactly pictures to people's names, and I sort of understand who's who. And if I, well, by the time I've understood who's who, they're probably dead or running away from someone trying to kill them. but the encyclopedia is amazing. I think all the authors have done a massive job on bringing that universe together in the phase 1, and now going into phase 3, which I'm excited to start. I've only got a couple more hours left on the audiobook of Path of Vengeance. Again,
Ooh.
absolutely getting back into it is amazing stuff. And a special shout out as well, one of my other favourite books. So I'm gonna overarching just put Star Wars literature. It's going to be Battle Scars. I think Battle Scars is one of my favourite books this year that I've read as well. But yeah, for
Nice.
me, Star Wars High Republic Encyclopedia brings me in at number 4. What about you, Jimmy? What have you got?
I have Jedi Survivor at number 4.
Ooh.
Loved playing it. Super excited. Love where the story went. Love some of the things you got to do at the end. It left me wanting more. And the only reason it's
More.
not higher, yes, the only reason it's not higher for me is I do feel like because they were planning a third one, that they just kind of ended it, and it just, there's so many questions. I don't know. Maybe that was planned, I guess, because people wanting more. But I really enjoyed it. They updated it. It wasn't the same exact game. Different fighting styles. The characters. We've missed all those characters. You got to see some really great cutscenes. Things are changing. It's added so much to the lore. I think it's fantastic, the tie-ins with the High Republic, because you just mentioned the encyclopedia. Dagan, what's his that character from Fallen Order, sorry, from Survivor.
Yeah.
He's in that encyclopedia. They tied him and those characters, all the characters you see in that. So just the connectivity, and it's kind of like the first hub of bringing everything together, where you're starting to see like them weave High Republic into the history of things, and I think that was pretty well. So yeah, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I'm excited for Taylor to hopefully get to play it someday.
Yeah, that is one
So
thing I have not been able to experience yet. Oh my gosh. But I've heard so many, like, I don't know, leaks. I guess I can't even say it's leaks anymore because it's been out for so long. But I definitely read the crap out of those 2 pages in the encyclopedia. I was like, I don't even care if it spoils it for me. And I read the 2 characters that are in it, I guess. So, like, really
yeah.
excited about it.
Nice.
Well, my number 4 this year would be when I went to Fan Expo Vancouver in February, which I'm definitely going to be going again this year. I've already got all the tickets for it already, but yeah, this year I met Anthony Daniels, and I chatted with him 3 different times, and I met Ashley Eckstein. And I met some pretty good friends and some of our listeners. I met the Famdalorian on Instagram. Him and his whole family are Mandalorian cosplayers, and they're amazing. So, and then apparently we also actually work together. But it took us driving, an hour and a half to Vancouver to meet each other where we work. And I met a lot of the guys from the Bucketheads crew, which later got me invited to that Star Wars party that I went to in the summer, which was super,
Nice.
super fun. And I met Riley Austin at the Toy Traders booth. So, hey guys, I'll see you again this year. So, Fan Expo Vancouver was my number 4. It was awesome. And for our listeners, we have a comment here from Matthew Bell. He said, "It's easy. It's Star Wars Celebration by a country mile. A fantastic time with lots of lovely people." I'm just getting more jealous of you guys because you're all seeing each other there. On Instagram, we have all Star Wars fans, and he says mine would have to be Anakin in Ahsoka. That made his top 5. Oh, that was a good one. Smiling ear to ear, just that one got me. And lastly, I have Matilda Backlund. She says that her trip to Galaxy's Edge, obviously it made her top 5. I'm sure it was probably right at the top. But yeah, she went with her family, and that looks so fun. So, yeah.
Very jealous. Very jealous.
Yeah.
Cool. Next is our top three. Jimmy, you want to start us off? What came in at number 3 for you, buddy?
All right, so Celebration is going to be my number 3. Had a lot of fun. Obviously, Jack and I got to meet, and here we are now because of it, I think. So I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Celebration was really fun. You know, I've talked about that. It was my 3rd Celebration. It's probably why it wasn't ranked not ranked higher. If it would have been my first, it probably would be at the top. But it was a lot better for me than Anaheim to have all the friends and stuff that we have there from other podcasts and things like that, and get to hang out with them. Was really fun to get to see everybody that I talked to online over there, and there's still some things that Celebration needs to work out with their just the tickets and with the lottery
showing
and
which
different things like
and
that.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a mess. They need to get some people in there that are fans who attend and try to figure that out. But Celebration itself was a lot of fun. It was great to get to take my sister and my wife to London, go over to the UK, see things with them, and then share that with my wife. It was really fun. So Celebration, number 3 for me. I can't beat it. It's if you ever get a chance to go to a Celebration, no matter where it's at, you should go.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nice.
Just a bunch of like-minded people.
Yep. What have you got, 3, Taylor?
My number 3 was Mando season 3. We got a lot out of that season, actually. And I know people are like, oh, it wasn't the best. And no, it wasn't. We got a little bit sidetracked. You're right. But we had a lot of good things. We got Sir Din Grogu. We got Din, adopting Grogu. And we got a lot of Bo-Katan, but that was good, too. Darksaber was crushed by Moff Gideon. Or Bo-Katan's hand, I guess, was where it got crushed. And then we got the Mythosaur. We got so much stuff. So there was actually a lot of good stuff in Mandalorian season 3 too. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent season.
Yeah.
I agree. My number 3 then is Star Wars Shatterpoint, a new game that was released.
Yeah.
Love building it, painting them up. I think some of you guys enjoyed the videos. I need to do some more of those once I get some more models. Just meeting a lot of the fans as well. I know some people still listening to this from some of the tournaments I went to. Good little game. So Star Wars Shatterpoint for me. Really enjoyed it. There's still lots more stuff coming out for it. Just keep your eyes out for more videos. On top of that, then we've got Shane. Again, he agreed with Luke, so his was Celebration. So many like-minded folks looking for each other was great, and he said it was also great to meet the mighty Jimmy. So big shout out to you, Jimmy.
Shane, it was great to meet you, and he actually sent me a TJ Watt Funko.
Nice.
So so thanks for that. Sorry the Steelers stink. He's a fellow Steelers fan as well, so it was awesome to meet Shane.
Nice. Next, we've got Alex Jessup. His was Celebration as well. Fantastic to meet Alex there. Next, we've got Clan Brandalorian. Again, he's got quite a few. He's got Ahsoka, Mando Season 3, Throne Room diorama from Lego as well. So quite a few options agreeing with yourself there, Taylor, with the Mando, and the Lego stuff for you there, Jimmy. So, yeah. Some really good points. Okay, next then, we're going to move on to our top 2. Okay, so 2 left to go. I'll start us off real quick. Might be a shock. However, my number 2 is Celebration. At Celebration, it absolutely blew my mind. I managed to share it with my son, which is a big thing. I managed to meet no end of actors. Ian McGregor, Hayden Christensen. I met the Emperor. Jesus, I got so close. I met Diego Luna and the director of Rogue, not Rogue One, Andor. I forgot the name now. Because I managed to participate in the prisoner run, which was amazing, running through Celebration, shouting that.
I was watching live. I was like, there's Jack!
It was amazing. Jumping the queues as well. I thought it was fantastic. Sorry to the people that offended, but exploited the lack of security. So I managed to get all my exclusives as well with my lad. And just spending time with my son at Star Wars Celebration, meeting Jimmy, meeting his wife, meeting a couple of other people as well. And just, having the experience of being there. I've got a friend from Canada that listens as well, Rob. managed to finally meet Rob that lives in Canada, and spent some time with Scott and Ryan as well. Again, people that are listening in, hello to you too. So yeah, for me, number 2 is by far Celebration. What have you got, Taylor, for your second one?
My number 2 is going to be Ahsoka, this series this year, and I'm just going to make it the whole series because it was just new and exciting this year, and just the build up to it was exciting, and like how we planned and how we did all the research on the characters from Rebels, and like we covered it together, so I kind of like it made it better because it was like an experience for us, even though we were like half of us were asleep or rushed or
a slog. It was a
stressed
slog.
as hell. Yeah.
Slog.
Yeah, you were like half asleep at like 4 a.m. or whatever. But I mean, highlights for me, we got like Ahsoka the White, if that's what we're calling her, but I like that version of Ahsoka. We got like amazing David Tennant. Hayden Christensen's hair was like flawless in every scene. The Clone Wars flashbacks and like Ray Stevenson, rest in peace. But like, was really good. It was a really good series, and I'm super glad that I got to enjoy it with you guys and all of our listeners too. It's made it much more fun, right?
Nice. What about you, Jimmy?
All right, so my number 2 is The High Republic, and I just put all of it because to separate it would be to do it a disservice.
Nice.
This, I remember thinking about this initiative and being like, what scares the Jedi? Angry plants and blah blah blah. And I had no idea that I would love this as much as I do. Craving the books, craving the comics, even the young adult ones, the mid-grade levels. I have read every single piece, I think, so far of the High Republic and how that all fits together. Seeing things being pulled in from video games, like we talked about in Survivor.
Yeah.
Chomping at the bit for Acolyte to see Vernestra.
I
mean, and then some of those books, I mean, I remember just sitting there reading and being nervous, and then like the anticipation was killing me. Lydia Kang, obviously, the Catalyst, Cataclysm, sorry, just was one of the best books I've read. I know you guys aren't as high on it as I was.
No, I love that one.
The threat of all these Jedi dying and no one's safe. I mean, we know there's like 1 or 2 characters that we know are safe. I mean, there's a third one now because of the Acolyte, but like just not knowing, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I mean, nobody is safe in that book, in that series, and I mean, so it has been awesome. It's something I look forward to. My biggest complaint was it came out too fast for phases 1 and 2, and now they've slowed it way
and now
down.
we're waiting till March.
Now it's too slow. So, we're waiting till like I think January.
Oh, yeah, January 30th.
The next book comes out. Yeah. So, but I can't not speak highly enough of the High Republic and how well they've done, and it just gives me hope for the future of Star Wars. That they can plan something as complicated as little things showing up in comic, these little tie-ins, all this. They have to be able to do it for the future of the franchise as far as the movies and stuff. So I think that the High Republic is really, it kind of brought me back on board with movies and things like that, because I feel like they understand how to make this work now, and I'm really, really excited for the future of Star Wars. So so number 2 for me, the High Republic, all of it.
All of it.
So we also have from Force Coast Conversations. Eventually, we will get him on our show. We've been trying to get things worked out, but he said Ahsoka, obviously. I mean, that's been a high one for a lot of people. Vision Season 2.
Good shout.
Really good.
That was good.
Yeah. That just missed. That was on the outside looking in for me as well. And then Bad Batch Season 2. So that was really good. Really loves the TV shows. So very cool. And of course, we wouldn't be complete if we didn't bring in everyone's favorite listener. And so here we go. Let's hear what he has to say. All right. We have the man, the myth, the legend. We've got Hank the Tank joining us. All right, Hank. So you've talked to us a lot this year about Star Wars stuff. This episode is going to be our 2023 year in review. And I know all of our listeners are anxious to know like what your top 3 things from Star Wars were this year. So how about, what is your number 3 Star Wars event, moment, toy, game, whatever?
Number 3 was probably Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. All right. Why how'd that make your top list?
Because I beat it a couple times and I had fun doing it every time.
Are you excited for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, good. That's a good one. That made my list too. All right. You beat Fallen Order as well, right?
Yeah, I did.
Very cool. All right, what is your number 2 for 2023?
Probably The Mandalorian Season 3.
Mandalorian Season 3. Do you have like a favorite part from it, or just in general the whole show? Because I know you really love the Mando.
Just in general.
Just in general. All right. And last, saving the best for last, what is your favorite thing from Star Wars that happened this year?
Probably getting to see Ezra in live action.
Ezra in live action. That was pretty cool. So, because you're a huge Rebels fan, right? I think you've said that before. All right. Are you looking forward to anything in 2024?
Well, not really sure it's coming out yet.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Lots of things. I don't think anyone's sure yet. Everything's up in the air still. So, all right, Hank. Thank you for joining us real quick. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
All right, buddy? Bye, bud.
Awesome. So, as Jimmy said, everyone's favourite, let's say, Padawan. Okay. Hank the Tank. Awesome choices. Again, probably agreeing with Uncle Jimmy on a few of those. Sounded very, very happy about Ezra as well. So
it's
always
so
awesome to have the Hank the Tank on the show. What do you think, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell he's learned from a great Jedi Master. But yeah, Survivor. Now, I would tell you this, though. Those two, him and his brother Jax, they always played on the easy mode. So I'm telling them, I always make fun of them for that. Like, play on the harder version.
The story mode. Hey, we all do that every once in a while.
And then he likes Mando Season 3. That did not get into my top 50 this year. So, but then, of course, he comes in with, obviously he's a huge Rebels fan. And it's kind of cool to see what kids love. And for him to be so excited for Ezra live action is really cool.
Because that's like his Luke Skywalker for his age.
Yeah, it really is.
Like,
it's like
oh,
yeah. So I really love having him on the show. We'll continue, to grace us with his appearance every once in a while, or his voice. So maybe we'll get a little interview or something like that in when I get back to Pennsylvania. By the time this comes out, I'll be back home and probably beating him up a little bit. So
Nice.
But
Awesome. So that leads us into our last bit, our top ones. Taylor, start us off then. What has been your number one?
my number one is going to be all of the High Republic releases that happened in 2023. And I mean, Jimmy just went with all the High Republic, but I went and limited down to exactly what episodes got released this year. But yeah, I think Battle of Jeddah was the first one that came out this year in January, which is okay.
Good, yeah.
And it was written by George Mann, and the last High Republic book of 2023 is The Eye of Darkness by George Mann. So he started off 2023 and he's finishing off 2023. Right?
He's got another book coming. Yeah, and he has another book coming in 2024 as well. So he's really kind of gone from not being around to... He is an excellent writer, though, so...
Exactly. He wasn't one of the
fantastic.
original writers for Phase 1, right? So he's kind of joined after. Yeah, and as you and Johnny were saying, he is really good at writing these characters that he didn't create, right? And he made me love Avar Kriss so much. But my favorite, if I was going to pick a favorite out of the 6 books and 5 comics, plus more audio dramas and graphic novels and etc., My favorite one would be the Eye of Darkness because I just felt so attached to all of the characters. And like, yes, the fall of Starlight was horrible, but it's more sad, more dark after. And I don't know why I like that. Just makes it more
Yeah, it was a
serious.
really well written book.
There's more stakes. Like I couldn't put the book down, and like I had the book. Oh, I don't have it up anymore because it's beside my bed. But I was reading the book and I'm listening to the audio drama or audio book when I'm driving because I have a bit of a drive to work. And I find that I'm like sitting in my car until the very last minute before I have to run in and clock in because I want to keep listening because it's so good. And Markion is just so evil. Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, then what have you got as your number one, buddy?
All right, so I'm gonna go with Ahsoka, but more specifically, I'm gonna go with Baylan Skoll.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've read this character resonated with me so well. I just, you know, he's what I enjoyed most out of a show that I absolutely loved. Like I loved Ahsoka. I thought it was like the most Star Wars thing we've gotten since the since Solo movie for me, and I loved it. I loved his character. I loved his journey. I love where I think it's going to go. You know, we dove into the Mortis arc because of him.
Yeah.
You know, and it crushes me. It absolutely crushes me to see that, and that he never is going to get to like people Celebration. We hadn't even seen him yet, and the place went nuts when he walked out on stage because he is Marvel and DC in his background, but he would be a king now.
Oh yeah.
In nerdom,
Yes.
with his Baylan Skoll and how much love he's getting and how many people you see doing cosplay of him already, and just his portrayal of this character. Now I do hope they recast it, knowing full well that it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
But he brought me. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know that show. Just his way, and I just the what ifs with him. But I just loved Baylan Skoll, and I've rewatched his scenes and things like that, and definitely my number one. Ahsoka would have been up there as well, but just his character in general, getting to see him before it all went down, before he passed away, and so my number one is going to be Ray Stevenson, his Baylan Skoll, and just the Ahsoka show in general. So really, really loved it.
Such a great actor, mate. I think
it was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he is such a great actor. His presence, like you said, as soon as he came out of Celebration, you could just tell he's got that aura about him.
Yeah. So, and you start seeing some of the stuff from behind the scenes of like them all hanging on him. He's kind of like the dad of the group, and just all the love that they came out with when he passed, and then you hear people who've acted with him previously.
Yeah.
And it's been just man. It's a shame. It really is a shame that we're not going to get more of them.
Yeah. Cool. So the last one then for me, my top one. I can't believe none of you have said this. For me, it's the podcast. From chatting to Jimmy at Celebration to where we are now, to all the doubters, people saying it wouldn't last more than 5 episodes. We're 33 main episodes in. I can't believe how many Ahsoka episodes we did and recaps and everything else. We've got to be close to 100 episodes, We're in 3 different time zones. Things change on the bounce. We've all got our own families. We've all got our own commitments. I've been in the midst of a hurricane and still managed to record, We have had our backs against the wall, and not even a year in yet. We've got just over, I think, 300 followers on Instagram off the top of my head.
Yeah.
YouTube's doing well. Spotify's
like
doing well. The love and support that we're getting from each other, but also the followers, it's just incredible. So for me, it has to be this podcast. Everything we do for each other, we do for everyone to get everyone's voice out. We've met some incredible people. Chris last week, looking forward to going on his show.
Yeah.
Brandalorian, Rural Farmer, Jake is always on the socials. We've also got the socials.
Jake Crafton.
That's it, Jake Crafton. All my boys from the Britannia 501st group as well. Big shout out to them for helping us out. Just the constant, we've got how many socials going, all these commitments and that, and we're still going pretty strong. I can't see us. I can't see us slowing down at all.
Heck
Darrell
no.
Armstrong's up there, down Ford it, Briscoe's on there. We've got no end of people, and I never thought it'd be possible, really. But like I said, we had from chatting to Jimmy at Celebration to just a spare the moment thing of going, you know what, let's give it a shot. So yeah, for me, it's Explore the Force, number one.
Yeah,
Jack,
well, that's what
you're the man.
I had that, like I said, I had in my notes here, and I wanted to talk about that. And Jack, you echoed a lot of it. The fact that people didn't think we were going to make it, the love that we've gotten from a lot of our friends, has been amazing. Working with you three, it hasn't been, it's not this perfectly paved road for us. There's been bumps
Yeah.
and bruises along the way, but we've gotten through it. I think we've gotten better and better, and I do feel like I was actually just talking with Molly about this. And I was like, I just don't see this ending. Like, I really love it, and we do a lot of time, the editing, the social media with you guys.
Yeah.
We like, and Jack said, we all have our families, and,
We're
but this
9 hours apart.
yeah, we're separated by 9 hours over, across the country, across the galaxy. And, it has been awesome. It's been fun to finally have a voice and getting to meet people. And that's another thing too, I was going to say is, just these connections we've started making with, like, I would not know Brandon, and he's just an hour up the road from me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll get together sometime, just meeting Chris from Seriously Star Wars and all these other people, and we'll get Force Ghost conversations on here, and who knows what the future is going to hold, but this has been a really fun journey. I'm excited for 2024 and to get a full year under our belt on May the 4th, 2024.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you both, for doing this. It's kind of weird because, like, I had reached out to Taylor at one point. I was like, hey, because I knew I wanted to. When I had this vision in my head, it was like 3 or 4 of us together, but I wanted to be able to represent everybody that loves Star Wars. And and I remember hearing Taylor's questions and her comments and things. I was like, well, she'll be great at this. She comes from a different angle than a different place than I do. And then Jack, you and I getting to meet. I didn't even realize it was the 3 of us that were supposed to, do the book club or whatever. But
On a
just getting to
different
spend time
show.
with you, Jack, and meeting with James, just having that fun. And I don't know, it's been great, guys. I want to say thank you for 33 episodes of the main show.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jack. I mean, people getting up at 2:00 in the morning, myself staying up until about that, editing, trying to get it out before everybody else. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to 2024 with you guys. So
Awesome.
I wanted to get that out there before we.
So that's our year in review complete. As always, any comments, feedback, whatever it is, please message us. Explore the Force on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, and also Instagram. And as always, from Taylor,
For light and life.
and from me, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day. Just want to wish everybody happy holidays, safe traveling. Most of you will not be traveling as far as I am, but safe travels. Enjoy the time with your family. We will be back, I think, the 7th week of January. The 7th of January we'll be back.
See you guys next year.
For all of us from 2023, we have spoken.
See you later.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.